If you try to research comfort zone on YouTube, you're going to come across titles like these. Your comfort zone is ruining your life. Your comfort zone is killing you. There is no success for you within your comfort zone. And for me, the most toxic one, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. All of these messages carry a subtle, or actually really not so subtle, subconscious, aggressive undertone. And because many of us interested in self-improvement have been hooked into this mindset for years, it's no wonder that by now so many of us experience extreme anxiety, frustration, self-judgment, and even depression around what we see as our failed attempts at self-growth. Yeah, we look at our comfort zones with disdain and scorn, and almost like it's a horrible disease. I follow a channel that I like and that I learn a lot from, but they have a line about growing on YouTube that says, punch fear in the face. Punch? My brain receives that line as beat yourself out of your fears. Nope, no thank you. So today we're going to talk about a new perspective of the comfort zone and how to expand within it in a very gentle way. And you'll see for yourself that it can be more effective for many of us, because it's not our comfort zones that are ruining our life. It's our sharp judgment of them. But first, what is your comfort zone? Especially for those of us over the age of 40. Why do I say 40? Because by the age of 40, anything that has become your comfort zone is usually rooted in years of your life experiences. So it's not theory. We've had patterns of things happen, and our body and nervous system have developed ways to protect us from those experiences. So because your comfort zone is in place to protect your nervous system, the reason you don't want to attack it with self-judgment is that it's the most vulnerable part of you. It's like if a child tripped over something and fell, and then you picked up that child and immediately began to scold them for falling. But in that moment, we would all agree that child needs comfort to soothe their pain. Well, it's the same with your comfort zone. When you harshly judge your fears and weaknesses, you're attacking the most vulnerable part of yourself, and you're likely to feel cornered, then freeze and can't take any action. This compassionate approach is especially crucial for those of us who are highly sensitive, empathic, or already prone to anxiety and overwhelm. For us, harsh self-judgment can be particularly damaging, so it's important to handle ourselves with extra care and kindness. The way to break this vicious cycle is to approach your comfort zone challenges with compassion and understanding. In this video, we're not just going to approach comfort zones theoretically, because I'm going to lead you through a series of questions. You'll also have a free PDF download at the end of the video with these questions, so you can work through them yourself. My goal is for this to feel real, practical, and doable for you, and not at all feel overwhelming. I'll be sharing my own answers to these questions just to see how this process can work for you too. All right, let's start with the first question. What is one specific comfort zone that you often judge yourself for not pushing beyond? It's important to focus on one at a time, or you're more likely to feel overwhelmed. During this whole process, we're planting seeds and giving them time to sprout naturally. No rushing or forcing. So for me, it was people pleasing. I knew it wasn't good for me, but I could not get myself to stop. Like a friend would call, wanting me to help sort out some sort of an issue in their life. And so even though I was busy or tired, I wouldn't say no or not right now. Then get off the call, often a whole hour later, and feel completely drained. It took me a little while to realize the why. I feel safest when I can avoid upsetting people and avoiding confrontation. Then I had to go a little deeper into my why. Because in the past, when I faced confrontation, I would receive harsh criticism that stuck with me. People, even friends, said things that attacked my character and I internalized some of their negative criticism. So staying in my comfort zone felt safer because I wanted to protect myself. Now, the second question is, how can I show compassion to myself for needing this comfort zone? This question is an expansion of your first answer, and it encourages you to go deeper into self-compassion and step further away from criticism of and judgment towards your vulnerability. Following along the same trend of thought from the first question, my answer showed me that I could give myself grace for not being able to just easily shrug off other people's opinion. And even though that's very easy for some people, it wasn't for me, and that was okay. I recognized that I didn't need to judge myself because my fear of confrontation wasn't just about avoiding difficult situations and difficult conversation. It was about protecting myself from the emotional pain that I had experienced many times in the past. This shift in understanding of my comfort zone actually empowered me to begin to find small ways to say no, and at the same time be patient with my slower process of building the confidence to handle possibly upsetting others in order to put my needs first. So slowly but surely, I learned to say no without confrontation. I started with small, manageable steps, like saying no to a visit from a friend when I really wasn't in the mood for company. Here's the thing, saying no and saying no without guilt are two different things. And I think I'll actually make a video about that specifically at some point in the future. If you'd be interested, please let me know in the comments below. So finally, the third question is, what manageable step can I take to gently expand this comfort zone without abandoning it? The key phrases in this question are gently expand and without abandoning it. Remember, we said the comfort zone was built from real experience. They can hold intuitive gut feeling warnings. They are not our enemy. So we don't need to completely abandon their messages. But we do want to set ourselves some goals to gently expand. So here's what it looked like for me. After I started with the small steps of saying no in easier situations, and as my confidence grew, I eventually built up to more challenging situations, like allowing myself to end a phone call with a friend who was in relationship hell by saying, "I'm sorry you're in so much pain, but I can't do this with you right now." Was it easy? No. Was it necessary? Yes. Were there consequences to the friendship? Yes. But I also learned to deal with that too, because I had allowed myself to gradually become confident in setting boundaries. I ended up expanding my comfort zone without overwhelming myself. And that's the process. Now that we've gone through these questions together, I hope you can see how you can start to expand your comfort zone gradually and gently by being understanding and patient with your fears and growing at your own pace. Truthfully, I believe that this type of growth is long-lasting and you'll be more easily able to sustain it. So as I mentioned in the beginning, I created a free download of these questions. You'll have the question and then a brief synopsis of what the question is supposed to cover so that it can jog your memory and make it a bit easier for you to fill it out if you so choose. So as we're wrapping up, please keep in mind, forward is forward. No matter the pace, you can feel proud of yourself, even if your pace is slower than someone else's. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, you might also be interested in checking out my video on the common mistake we make in trying to break the anxiety cycle. It will be linked on the end screen and in the description below. I wish you all the best on your self-growth journey. And I always like to say, take the time to be kind to your mind. See you in my next video.